Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Karen Marsdale and I'm the President and CEO of the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And with me once again today is another great member of the Chamber and with a wonderful story, a young couple. And it's so good to have you here, both Alan and Angie Widener with Cave Pool and Spas. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you can tell they've just got these great logo shirts on. They've just come in from doing some work. It's the time of year, of course, that I'm sure you're running just, crazy busy.
Yes.
Because you have to make hay while the sun shines, I guess,
Exactly.
to some degree. But so it's great to have a young couple that's in business for themselves. We were just talking before the segment started about how you wanted to have your own business. You wanted to be self-employed. I happen to have had that story as well. My husband and I, at an early time in our lives, did the same thing. And I think that's what makes me feel so passionate about what I do at the Chamber. Because having been on the other side of that table, now I'm just always so humbled by those like yourselves who are doing that. Because you get up every day and you're self-sufficient, you have to have a plan. Things don't always go easily, but you make it happen. And that's really, small business is the engine of our economy in this country, always will be. And so what we try to do is always make sure that we're doing whatever we can to make you successful, at what you're doing.
Thank you.
So talk a little about 7 years ago you bought the business.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying a little bit about that it was you were always wanting to do that and you bought that business. But when you saw that, with pools and spas, was that kind of a dream, or was that just, this could be an interesting type of business?
Well, for me, no, it wasn't a dream. I don't know if I grew up going, I want to work on pools and spas, but that being said, it was more so that drew me it was my own business.
Okay.
And when it was presented to me, we had a 3-year-old and she was pregnant.
Okay. Oh, good.
So,
good timing.
Yeah, great timing.
So we kind of had to wait till our son was born before we did anything. And we kind of, at the end of actually it was when we picked this up, was at the end of the pool season. So we had September and October, and he didn't have, the previous owner didn't have near the business we do. And so we jumped in 2 feet, had September, October, and that was it. And then we kind of sat for the winter.
Sure.
A little bit of work, but very little. And we didn't look back. We just kept going and kept pushing through.
Well, statistics will bear out the fact that if you can get sort of through that 5-year mark. So you've had 7 years in the business. You just said it wasn't nearly what you have today in terms of growth. And I know because you were a 2015 award recipient from our chamber as one of the entrepreneurs of the year. So congratulations again, because that's doing that really heavy work of growing that business.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me what was perhaps the most challenging through this whole journey up to now in the 7 years that you've had the business. What's been the most challenging thing for you?
I think managing, it's a seasonal business, so I think managing the amount of work that we get, when it hits, say in April when we're starting to open pools, trying to manage the business and the flow of it, and trying to build our hot tub business so it can kind of carry us through the winter. Just kind of managing the ebbs and flows of the business, that's been kind of challenging, and trying to, keep our guys busy. We try to, have hot tubs, even in the winter times we have some kind of business, so it's, not like it's completely dead, but, it's been kind of difficult sometimes to try to manage it all when it's so busy. It's just literally we're working 80 hours a week or more. And so trying to manage all that and trying to manage, employees, that can be difficult, sometimes. So,
Sure.
There's just a lot of just things that can be difficult as far as, just the, day-to-day type things, you know what I mean? So,
Sure. And how many employees do you have now?
we have about 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have some part-time.
We have some
coming
a
in
couple
when we need
part-time, like 2 or 3 part-time people too that we get them as they can they can help out, like college kids and things like that that help us on a part-time basis. So yeah.
And what's it like to work together as a couple?
It's not too bad. You have your days. And it's just the way it's going to be.
Yes,
You have
that's-
your days
yes.
where everything, especially at the beginning of the season, where it goes from, you're talking March, then April hits, and then all of a sudden, as soon as May hits, it's 120 miles an hour. And, we're all trying to get things done. Then you throw in the mix of employees and you throw in the mix of customers that everybody wants it done.
Yesterday. Sure.
That's when it can, she's usually my venting. So it's, for me, I don't get angry really that quick. But I do have a popping point where I'm just frustrated and I'm not really angry at anybody. I just say, okay, I'm just calling the vet. Just leave me.
Sure, absolutely.
Put the phone down. I don't care. Just let me go.
Yep.
I just vent for 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yep, let
Yeah.
that steam out,
Yeah,
and then you're ready to
then
go
I
again.
go back and I'm good.
So, and I know what that feels like. Tell me what your aspirations are for the future, because I know that's sometimes a big challenge because you're growing a business. You have grown. You obviously have shown that, or else you wouldn't be getting the award from us, because it's very much it's about the numbers and it's about growth. But so, what do you see as the next step? Like, do you sit down and put your year-long plan together or your 3-year plan together? I mean, what are you doing to sort of look and forecast at the future?
Well, some of the things we're in works right now. Since we don't have a retail store, I've been dabbling with an app
Oh, okay.
that people can get on there, contact us, schedule, buy chemicals. We'd have to deliver them. You can't ship chemicals. And I was also talking to another friend of mine. We might start getting into the in-ground market as far as installing in-grounds. So we're kind of moving that way. And we're still growing our weekly services, our bi-weekly services. That has been growing more and more. And some of the stuff it's customer motivated, I guess you would say. They call up, hey, can you do this? Well, yeah.
We get a lot of calls, can you put pools, do you put in-ground pools in? So we get a lot of calls like that. And at this point, we put the above grounds in and we service, we do in-ground liners and things like that and above ground. But, we're just kind of trying to do the things that our customers are asking, you know what I mean? Like the requests and the marketing kind of things.
So where do you go to for solid business advice? Are you looking to like subject matter experts in an accountant or an attorney, or what would you say is helpful for you?
I think a bunch of different things. When I have a free second in the winter, I'll read a lot. Right now, reading's just out. That's just not going to happen.
Now, sleeping is hopefully right.
Yeah, try to get that in.
Yesterday, that's what I did with that heat. But we do have a good accountant. We have a lawyer, but then also some other people we met through the chamber, just other business owners, and we try to network that way and say, okay,
thank you, good.
For me, that's really helped as far as talking to other business owners, especially when we started hiring people. What do we need? What do we need to do? How do you know when you need? And now it's just, I'm tired, so I need to.
Right.
So we're moving more so with the employees and trying to delegate that out.
Right.
Because I just physically cannot do it all anymore.
Right.
I just can't.
No. And you don't want to. You want to,
delegate
and be able to, and have that, good, solid. So often what we see is people spend so much time, and by default you need to, working in the business, and so it's very hard to step back and say, I need to work on the business. And I think that's what we're really hoping. I mean, we've done this for so many years, for over 100 years as a Chamber of Commerce, and people always ask, me, what do you think the most valuable thing that we bring to the table? And I think it is not only the resources that we have, that we can connect people with the right people, and understanding how to run a business. Because,
Right.
for example, Denny Laura was just in here, as you probably know. Well-known electrician, built a large company, and it was like I said, when did you go from being an electrician to being a business person? And making that switch to now I'm running a business. It happens to be that I'm in the electrical business. Now you're in the pool business, but you're running a business.
Right.
And he said, that's key. That's a key factor. And there's so many people. You made a wise choice. I'm not making a pitch for the chamber, but I think you've made a wise choice because there are so many folks who have come before, like the Denny Lauras of the world, who will give back. Even a phone call or whatever to say, I happen to see something in a magazine that you wrote, like our chamber magazine. Could I have an hour of your time to talk to you about some business issues that we're challenged with?
Right.
So keeping that network of people who are. I always think there's always people smarter than me.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, but it's exciting to run your own business.
Right.
And it's also a challenge.
It is very challenging. Yeah.
And I think the employee side is very
challenging.
Very challenging. Finding the right people. How do you interview for the job that you really want them to do?
Right, exactly.
And how do you get somebody to feel as passionate as you do?
Yes, that's tough. That's
about
really
the
tough.
business, right?
Yes, exactly. Find the right people that
can
have the same vision. You're on the same page, and you know what I mean. You want to have the same goal. You know what I mean, and create that culture so that they're on the same page as you and wanting to, help and grow and things like that. But
so, what would you say for both of you? Angie, what is your strength in the business? And then Alan, I'll ask you what your strength is in the business. When my husband and I were younger than you, even when we had our business, we had different strengths,
right.
and we complemented one another. He was definitely by education an accountant, so he would always be the the numbers guy who would be and I'd say just make it work, and I'm not too worried about the numbers. But so, what do you think you bring to the table?
I think I'm like administrative. Like I'm good with like kind of managing things and like multitasking and just being able to, like manage the day-to-day processes and like numbers and things like that. I mean, I do like accounting. I'm not an accountant, but like I mean. I think I'm.
You kind of get it.
I kind of get it. You know what I mean? I have a pretty good handle on that kind of thing. And then also even with marketing, like I'm good, with like kind of getting things out there as far as trying to get our name out there and market and things like that. So I think the administrative, the marketing, I try to do chamber events. I try to do power networking when I can, go out there and meet people, kind of always getting my name out there and constant contact, with employees, things like that. So I think I'm pretty, I'm not going to say I'm like I'm excellent at that, but I think that I have a pretty good handle on that.
Yeah,
and
I think we all know when we have our strengths and our weaknesses.
And
Alan, how about you? What's your... sounds like you're the guy that's out there.
The technical part.
The technical part, and also,
pick up the stuff, and I bring working in the building industry and all that. I look back at that and bring that into the business, where a lot of the people that are in the pool business, they know pools, but I look at different ways when I look at the pools. I'm like, wait a minute, I can fix this differently, because I know there's other ideas that I have.
Sure.
And there's nobody out there doing it because they're not looking at that the way. Like, I can save somebody's pool the way I figure, without tearing down a whole wall.
Sure.
Where other companies, the first thing they go out and go, you gotta take the pool down, you gotta put a new pool in. And once I go, no, it's not. You don't need to do that. I can do this, and we just did one yesterday.
We did one yesterday. Saved them thousands of dollars.
Another company went in there and said, hey, you need to get a new pool, $9,000. We went in, I said, no, this can be fixed, fixed it, and she was ecstatic.
Yeah, so that's a customer for
miracle.
life.
She's like, you're a miracle worker, she said.
And I do better face-to-face with customers. I mean, they'll call if I'm at the office, like, this customer wants to talk to you. I don't like talking over the phone. Like,
well, you probably also want to see the job, too.
Yeah.
You might want because there's
right.
a lot that can't be...
And I'll talk to them over the phone. We have customers that sometimes are frustrated because of other companies. Sometimes they're frustrated at us because they wanted things yesterday, and well, unfortunately, I can only do so much in a day. And it's just the way it is. But once I talk to them a little bit and say, okay, here's where we are, this is what, and then they smooth over and they're fine. And which is customer service. I want them to be happy.
Sure.
I do what I can, but I'm also honest. I can. This is when I can do this. This is what we ran into. You know,
Right,
we'll work
exactly.
it out. As long as they understand. So my strength, I would say, would be around there, just face to face and the technical stuff.
Good. It's
Although
a good
I do know the
combination.
numbers,
Yeah,
and
it's,
I need
it's-
to. Then that's why I have her. I'm like, okay, you need to tell me what's going on here. I want to know what's
right. That's
where this
real
is, so we
important.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, we can grow. Let's do this, and you know, we're always again looking at the next thing and saying, okay.
Yeah.
You have the companies that have the retail stores. It's like the app. I'm looking at different ways of doing things.
I think
Bring the
that's
store to them rather than having to run to the pool store or whatever. We can actually bring the store to you. You don't have to.
Good
You don't have to
idea.
run to the store.
Right.
We'll bring the chemicals to you. We can service your pool. We'll bring the hot tub chemicals, the pool chemicals. It's like, you know what I mean. We're going to bring that to you. You know, people are busy. They work
Yes.
full time. The last thing they want to do is run to a pool store. You know what I mean. They've got to go to the grocery store. They got to go. But the last thing they want to do is run to the pool store. So it's like, hey, we'll take that. You know what I mean. The headaches and all that. Those
and we'll be there for you.
we
Yes,
just bring
exactly.
make your life simpler. Make your, you know what I mean. You've got enough stress, enough things you got to deal with. We're going to help you out.
So do you see yourselves in the long run, 10 years from now, you want to still be K Pool and Spa, or do you want to,
Grow into
have
it.
this grow into something? I know it's hard to look at that, but
No,
you
I
know,
already do. My mind's always gone.
sure.
I'm already going, okay, how hard would it be for me to now open grass cutting and I already have the clientele. I'm already in their backyards. Hey, you know what? I can cut grass. If we move commercial, the EPA says I have to get a pesticides license. And if I do that, guess what I'm going to be doing?
Commercial.
I'm already out here. I can spray the outside of your,
Sure, so
your
you're
house.
thinking about just like those business lines that just make sense to, let's just do this one-stop shop.
Exactly.
So
you know.
it's
There's lots of opportunities. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's just
yes. Do you have any, I would imagine, associations that are specific
yes.
to the industry?
Yes.
So then you can see the best,
Yes.
the best practices, the best of show, if
Yeah.
you will, of companies all over the country.
Right.
And what they started and what they did and beyond. So
We go to in January. We go to like a pool and spa expo, and you know what I mean. We have classes, technical classes, business classes. So we're part of like the Northeast Spa and Pool Associations and the American, like national associations and things like that. So we do all that training. We do, he's certified. He's a certified pool operator, so he got a certification. So we have different, you know what I mean, like different associations that that can help us if we have questions about something. We can call them. It's a great resource, for our particular industry.
sure,
So,
sure.
I mean, I think that's good to, you know what I mean, have
It's
that.
very important. I mean, interestingly, I was just talking with Steve Essick from Paul W. Essick Plumbing and Heating, and family-owned business, very, very much involved in his national association
Okay.
with just top-level people and bringing into to their business kind of the best practices of the industry, and always looking at what is new and innovative and again, just as you folks, you don't want to be the cheapest, you want to be the best.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
when you build that reputation, then it becomes just that word of mouth, and it just kind of bubbles over to and I think it's a great idea. I just love the fact that you're always thinking about, well, what can I do while I'm here?
New ideas and things like that.
And new ideas of just not looking at, in the optics of the day or the moment. So, and you've had great growth. I know we've got to wrap up here because our time is coming to an end. But so from year 1 to year 7, what kind of growth have you experienced? Just so our audience can sort of get a sense of, have you grown each year? Have you grown by 10%? Have you grown by, did you expect to do that growth, or did you, was it sort of all of a sudden just happened?
I think the first 4 or 5 years, we've doubled every year.
Wow.
Between last year and this year, well, we're not done yet with this year, so we're not 100% sure yet. But we've just been growing that much. Now that we're in our 7th year, our name's starting to get out there. We're hearing customers. I've been to this other pool store. I've been to 3 other pool companies, and they said if I want, they said to come to us for let's say hot tubs or whatever, because they're the best. Just get that, go to them, and we've heard that.
Hallelujah.
So
That's
it's,
great.
which is,
well, it's
It's
the
a word,
work
a lot
you
of,
put
a lot
in.
of word of mouth.
we've
you know,
never
referrals
contacted
and-
them, so now that our name's getting out there, and we're like, okay, where'd this come from? You know, I'm happy for it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a reason to celebrate. I
And-
mean,
and the
sounds-
chamber has helped us tremendously as well. You know, just like networking with people. You know what I mean? And then you meet people, and then they tell you, about your company and things like that. And just even Red Eagle articles, you've been featured a couple times. You know, the Red Eagle. So just kind of getting our name out there and just learning and going to classes. You know, through the chamber. You know, that's helped tremendously. So with our growth, and I'm
Thank you.
I mean that like sincerely. Like that's helped our growth, and that's helped us. You know.
Well, we're going to be there for you for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and so we're going to see you go into that next phase where you'll still be entrepreneurs, but you're going to be that top growth business, the next level,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, because I think I see it in the spark in your eyes. So I think it's going to be there. So I really admire what you're doing.
Thank you.
You got in at the right time when you're young and able to really just kind of get in there and use all the things that you have to offer and see each other's strengths and work on it. So congratulations
Thank you.
on all that you're doing, and look forward to really some more good stories as they
Yeah.
evolve. So thank you for being with us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.